You'll count down. All right. BitConnect. Welcome back, everyone. BitConnect. We're back with another stream here for you guys today. We're gonna go over some. What are we gonna go over today? We're gonna cover those daily and weekly levels that we're gonna look out for. So they're gonna go out into our newsletter, our weekly newsletter, and then daily newsletter as well. They're gonna be posted every day. Getting back into the routine of that. Then we're gonna cover some stocks, cover some crypto, maybe see what setups we see, and then we will do a little class on liquidity. Just kind of continuing down that calendar that we have. So liquidity defined today. We're gonna talk about that. Some points of that is just gonna be just talking about sell side versus buy side, just like liquidity sweeps above previous highs, previous lows, and kind of what to look out for. Stop hunting, trap zones, whatever. So let's do that. Without further ado, let's dive in here. So first we'll do the levels. We'll get all of those for y'all. Just kind of see what we could do on the weekly, right? And see where we want to go from here. Get a drink of pure water and pull up the chat. And then we'll get started. Yep, Discord is on so they can hear you.
Cool.
Turn it up. I got Mr. Hazed in the house too.
What's up, chat?
What's up, y'all? Sorry, let me do this. Let me go into here. Let me go into this bad boy. All right. If you guys are watching on YouTube, on whatever you're watching on, we're able to see the chat from all the platforms. So at any point, if you have any questions, ask away. If you guys want us to go over any charts, comment down below, leave them in the chat. Let us know. We'll go over those setups and what we see. Give you a little bit of a our insight on those. So on the daily chart and Q, what do we have? We're still below our EMA. Could come up and retest it. Yada yada yada. All right. Yeah, or 200. Still below that. But up top, we're still going to keep this Timmy candle right here. That's a good retest zone. We can move our OTE up, considering now this is our whole range. So now our 0.5 kind of shifts above into here. Our 618 shifts a little bit into the middle of this Timmy zone. We can look out for that. Below, what do we have? We have this level right here, this liquidity. As long as we don't go below that, we should be fine. That's kind of like our previous week low. That's our levels right here. 19818. Let me put a little comma right there. 19818. That's an important level. To the downside, what else do we have to the downside? I mean, we got some far liquidity right here, right? We can outline that. It doesn't necessarily mean that we get it, but it is still good to have. Be prepared, right? Kind of like we have talked about yesterday, just building that case of a if then, right? If we displace this level, then we can look for this. If this holds, then we can look for it to retrace up. If this breaks, then we can look for further lows. If we're looking at the whole like monthly, this right here, this liquidity about 17,351, that's kind of where we're looking for in terms of our OTE on like a bigger time frame. We discussed this on our futures on like our US 100 chart, right? This is kind of where we could go. All below these lows right here. This is the huge OTE that we're looking at. 705, 786. We'd want all of these to hold, right? If the 618 doesn't hold, then we're looking for 705, 786. Has a nice liquidity right here. We're looking at US 100 just because it's a continuous chart. Doesn't have any gaps in it. Doesn't have any... it's kind of the real chart, right? With no manipulation. So right here, right, we took the top, started selling on NQ. Obviously, we didn't do that. I think ES did. So We're just kind of right now looking at this, see if on the weekly, right, as we have outlined, they can come down a little bit further. Check out these. We can possibly bounce back into this breaker and then continue selling down. That's considering, now this is the range, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back to our NQ. So let's outline this breaker too. Now that's going to be more to the upside, right? Our levels to the upside. I want to take this, simply outline this breaker. We'll use the body of it. And right here, this level is going to be 2649. So at those levels, what are we looking for? We're looking for reactions, right? Are we coming up and retesting it to sell back down further? Or are we coming up, displacing above it and heading up higher? Kind of that external, internal liquidity talking point of, hey, from internals we go to externals, right? Depending on which side, or from externals we go back to internals. We can cover that we will cover that in a different lesson, just kind of those externals, internals. That's, that could be a leading conversation into what we will cover today about liquidity sweeps and whatnot. But if you're looking for internal liquidity, right, and then you're seeing like a bearish PD array reject, then you're probably looking for another external liquidity that's further to the downside, right? And similar thing if you're looking for your bullish, like your outside liquidity, your external, that's a high, right? You want to see those bearish PD arrays fail. That's giving you that upside potential. Let me see this. Let's see. Yes, we have these. This to the upside. This Timmy zone to the upside. We're not moving that. That stays the same level as it was. 2105, right? Confirm that. And then up here, right, we could outline the 618. We could also dive deep into just that previous weekly range. So Monday through Thursday, we can kind of scoot this to the left or to the right. And then we can outline this weekly range. Right, so what do we have here on this weekly range? 705 is kind of above those highs and in the middle of that breaker. So those could be all important as well. All right, let's do this. Let's expand that so that we know, hey, where are these levels? So 618 is pretty similar up to this level of the breaker. 705 is also right there. Right, so all of those levels are going to be important. We can even take this one, move it down a little bit so that it lines up with the 705 right here. That is pretty dang close. 27, 72125. 72125 right there. So those are going to be our levels to watch out for this week. All right, we obviously have some more over here. We are looking at this level right here, 20.00850. We've talked about this level numerous times, right? You can see we swept it, bounced out of it, displaced it, have rejected it. Now we're back above it, and we're kind of consolidating on it, right? So now we want to see, what are we going to do from here? Is this level going to hold, or is it going to break and we're going to sell down further? It's kind of those if-then scenarios, right? If we break this level, then we're looking probably for that previous weekly low. That's going to be at, what's that low right here? 19,765.50. Or are we going to continue down? We also roll contracts on the 18th. That's next week, Tuesday. So just be aware of that. But that's nothing to worry till next week.
Can I say one thing?
Oh, yeah. Jump in, please.
This just might be a really big gem of a trade that I've been watching for a minute, and I'm going to hand it out for free. Doge just swept that previous week low and is about to displace up on the 5-minute, giving me an entry, and this is like textbook what I wanted.
Oh, that is beautiful, actually.
Mark out
Holding the
previous week low and then
786.
Yeah, mark out previous week low and check the 5-minute right now.
Yep. I might hop in with that with you.
This next 5 minute can close above here. Like, this can be the most fire long ever.
Oh, think twice. See and stop below the low.
I think so. I'm gonna wait for this fiver. It's looking good though. Like, really like that 5 minute reaction. Pull up the 5 on your chart when you're done.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. That
Ooh,
sweep inverse fair value gap right here. Now we need to close above here likely.
Yep.
And then look for this to hold. All right, we want to see this fair value gap hold like this, so we could do something like that. That's what
Yeah,
we're
before we
looking
were
for.
talking on stream, there's something just very suspicious about this weekly compared to other weekly crypto charts.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yep. 15 minutes also looking good with that wick. It's
Right
not
at
your
the beginning
regular
of the
hammer
week.
candle.
Yep. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll see.
works out. Guess
Kind of
on
now
the
or never.
on the weekly, let's also mark out 28650. That's the 50% of the previous weekly or previous daily wick. So we always want to notate those. That's kind of going to be also a telltale sign. If we get below it, then we're not holding this and we're selling further down. If we are holding it, then we can see a little bit of an upside. All right. So those are going to be our levels. Let me get rid of this or scoot it to the left so that it's not populating our chart, just kind of messing with it. Got 3 levels to the upside, 3 levels to the downside. Let's see how that works this week. Mr. Shane, I'm sending that to you right now.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you.
There's that. And we'll get those posted right away.
I'm going to be super nice and throw up my Doge charts in our Telegram. It is in our pinned tweet on Paper Traders, and I think Eddie's account if you do want to see what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, check it out. I have all the links to all the important links that we have for all of our social medias pinned to the top of my page. We got our website, papertraders.io. If you have not checked that out, I suggest you do. Got all the useful links on there. You'll be able to find your risk calculator. You'll be able to find the trader log on there, the ICT trainer, and the candle creator. You'll be able to find all of those. Use those tools. We use all of them. I'm personally in love with the journal. I've been doing it for the past 25 days. It's phenomenal. We got our Telegram. That's where we give out some of those little
Freebies.
beautiful freebie trades. We got the trader log linked on there, risk calculator linked to YouTube. If you guys have not been able to tune in into previous live streams, you're able to go check that out and just click under the live tab. You will see all the past live streams that we have done. I think there's about 18 videos in there. Check out Twitch, check out Kick, Rumble, whichever one. TikTok, we're working on posting some of those highlights in there. And then, of course, the Paper Traders Twitter. We got posting daily on it. We got just some like daily little ICT gems on there. Also reposting any content. Just anything goes, right? That's our main hub. Just any announcements, any giveaways that we do are going to be through that channel. So check it out. Give it a like. Give it a share if you're enjoying it. We appreciate you guys. Anyways, okay, so we have
Really like that on
outline.
Doge.
Yeah, that's
Got that 5 minute close confirmation.
Oh yeah, she's looking good now. Swept both of those liquidity. That's nice. It's on the 4 hour. Let's dive down a little bit, right? We still have this 4 hour fair value gap, or this inverse fair value gap, right? That we keep on rejecting, right? So we want to keep our eyes on that as well. Just kind of, if we zoom in a little bit, it's kind of the area that we want to watch, because you see how many rejections we had on it. And we have outlined it over here, right? That's our breaker, and that's the OTE of the previous week as well. So that lines up well. We can easily retrace, sweep these highs, and continue down, because that will be almost a 50% of this breaker right here, right? If we outline that breaker right there, 50% is over here. Let's maybe Alt H that. Give us, if you guys are using TradingView, some hotkeys. Alt H is going to put a horizontal line. Alt V is going to put a vertical line in there for you. Some quick tips. And Shift H or Control Alt H is going to enable and disable your indicators on there. Just in case you want to just like look at a raw price and didn't want to go in here and turn off all the indicators, or didn't want to click this button, save yourself some time, use your keyboard. Yeah, so far she is looking okay for a retrace, but we will see how CPI does. Supposedly this week is supposed to be very volatile, so just look out for that. Make sure you're being very selective with your trades. Make sure you're being careful on everything. That goes for anyone, and myself included. All right. That's what we got on this week. Maybe let's draw out a little line of what could possibly happen. The way this daily opened with a little gap down, I would want to see it come up and close this gap, and then we can do whatever from there. So on the week, we could see this. I think I got a couple of scenarios, right? We can do that, or we can do this, right? It's not going to be all straight up, straight down, and this. So that kind of gives us a higher high confirmation and a higher low confirmation, and then we can head back up. But we'll see with this volatility and the expansion how we do. We can easily come up and sweep previous week high, sell back down to previous week low with how much the markets are moving recently, considering our daily range is like 2,000 little tickles. Oh, tickles, big tickles. Yeah, that is what we have on here. Crypto wise, we just gave you guys a little freebie over here on daily on Doge. I mean, that's probably the only crypto that looks decent enough. We got this line over here, the 200 on the 4 hour. Come up, retest that, right? Recheck back down. That's what we're looking for on it. On NQ, our line is over. Not this. This is the 15-minute. That's the 5-minute. It's up here. Yeah, so it's above the previous day high. We could come up and retest that too, and then see what we do from there. If you guys are not in the Discord, Timmy is posting phenomenal indicators that he has coded. We got the candle highlighter, basically highlights the important times when you should or should not be trading. Just makes you more patient, right? If you're not seeing the setup, you might as well wait for the time that you will see a setup. I'm in a theoretical short. I was looking for this M to play out, but it's just testing, seeing what we do. Right, realistically, like Shane was saying, we did retrace into the OTE technically of the previous day, so we can see some upside from here. It's all up to 20.008. That level is going to be important. This right here, I've outlined that there. These highs here, this level right there too. All of these are important. That's why we have them marked out. Okay. Next order of business, we got. Should we do the little liquidity class first, and then we can dive into stocks that we have? Give people some time. If you guys are, okay. If you guys are just now tuning in, comment down below or reply in the chat what tickers you want us to go over. We'll cover them all. Same thing goes for anybody in the chat. I just unmuted the stream for a second, heard myself 3 times. Like, Jesus. Okay. Let me tag at everyone. we'll go over.
ETH on this hourly, we have SMT. Bitcoin swapped previously low. ETH didn't. This hourly can get a close above 2047. This does look kind of Wyckoffy. I'm not a Wyckoff trader, but I've seen
On the
like
5.
no, like on the daily and the weekly on ETH, this could be the low.
My animal says lower.
I know, but
I'm kidding. This is not like a real measured animal. We're goofing around. We're like, all right, let's see how low this can go.
I don't know. That something about that weekly push down is just really sus.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And if you guys
For
are not following at Hazed Beats on Twitter, make sure to do so. Make sure to follow at the Paper Traders as well on Twitter. It's gonna give you all the information you need. Follow Big Timmy Hedge, phenomenal trader. Yeah, follow us, guys. Let us know if you enjoyed this. Obviously, share it. I mean, we're running on word of mouth. You know, I was kind of doing the whole like thing, but realized it's about education. It's not about likes or anything like that before the live stream. So if you're enjoying it, if it's giving you value, I see it would be appreciated. But we're working on word of mouth here. I want to spread the message to as many people as we can.
And
Yeah.
we have faith that you share good quality stuff and people come.
Exactly. More people we can teach about this, the better. We're going to launch our podcast soon here. We'll just be talking about random stuff, life stuff, whatever. That's going to come out. Can probably expect it within the next 2 weeks. We're working on that. The community just going to keep on growing. Trader log is going to get updated soon. We're punching out more indicators for you guys. That's going to be just for members. But otherwise, papertraders.io for any tools that we currently use that are free to use for you guys right now.
Yep. The trade log will have images by, I'd say, tomorrow night or Tuesday morning at the latest.
Sweet. So yeah, if you take a little setup, you can even put a little long or short just so you can kind of see what you wanted to do on it. And that's going to be phenomenal for you, right? Good case studying. That's how we grow, right? We learn from our mistakes. Teach us. It's not a mistake. It's a learning opportunity. That's how you should be looking at those things. If you got stopped out, question yourself.
Data-driven decisions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So let's go into a 5-minute NQ chart. I'll go over here. We'll go macro time testing. Let's go into our 15-minute chart. Alt R to reset your charts, guys. Yeah, I was just back testing some beforehand. But let's dive into this little lesson on liquidity, right? So talking about sell side, buy side. Let me also mark this off on the calendar that has been talked about, or that we're talking about it. It's kind of liquidity defined, right? Yesterday we covered that the 15-minute is probably going to give you the best outline for those liquidities. That's kind of your weather bell chart. It's going to give you really good swing highs and swing lows, and we can really see good liquidity sweeps on it. All right, so let's go somewhere let's start over here. Right, so you have multiple ranges out here. You have your swing high or swing low, swing high up here, swing high right there as well. So all of those ranges are kind of continuously moving, right? You have your liquidities that are resting below the lows. Those are going to be your sell stops, and that's your sell side liquidity. And anything above the highs or anything at the highs, there's going to be buy stops. So that's going to be your buy side liquidity. Right, you can refer to it as BSL and SSL. It's kind of some BSL right there, right? And we have where's my SSL marking? I don't think I have an SSL. Oh, I do. There we go. And sell side liquidity, right? Buy side, sell side. So price, like we talked about yesterday, goes from sell side to buy side, from buy side to sell side. And we want to look for liquidity sweeps that are above or below previous lows, and just kind of see what does the price do after that. So right here, as you can see, we swept this liquidity. A liquidity sweep is typically defined like on a higher time frame. You will see a wick through it and no body close, right? That's what we keep talking about with those levels that we have outlined on the daily, right? You're forming your if-then case. If we displace this level, then we're looking for further downside, because if we see displacement, that means it wasn't a sweep. It was just trading through it, and it's seeking further downside or further upside. So right here, we did not, or we swept this liquidity, right? So now we're looking for our buy side, or our internal liquidity, and then internal back to external liquidity. That's kind of how the market moves, right? You can take any swing high or any swing low on your 15-minute and outline it as such. I like to use my little pink line. That's kind of what I've been straining my brain for. So that, right, over here we swept. Look how well the bodies respect that, right? You don't have a single body close below it. So that's a sweep. We're left a wick, and now we're going for that high right here, right? So what do? We swept it a few times, right? And we're kind of just consolidating around it, and we're not displacing down, but we haven't displaced back up yet over here. So then we just break out of that level after that consolidation. Same thing that we talked about yesterday, right? If you haven't watched yesterday's stream, go on YouTube, press the live tab, and you'll see that live stream. It is titled, let me give you that title right away. I think it's just Saturday Trade Review and Saturday Trade Review and ICT Price Action Basics. So go check out that live stream if you have not had the chance yet, or if you weren't here yesterday. Make sure you're attending class every day. We're just going to keep on building the same concepts that we have covered from the day before, right? So over here, we sweep liquidity, and then we continue up, right? You're looking for bodies. How are bodies reacting? Over here, right, you can see those wicks. I'm sure we had a little liquidity over here somewhere on the 5-minute. It was a little high or a little low. So you always want to make sure you're leaving them until they are swept. After the swept, I like to mark it out as just a little swept liquidity, because swept liquidities get retested and they act as our quote-unquote support resistance, right? I mean, yeah, they are support resistance, but it's just kind of like a zone. ICT likes to call them like, mitigation blocks, right? It's where those traders, right, people that went short over here, right, their sell stops or sell orders got triggered over here by the buyers. They're coming back down over here, and this mitigates their losses. That's why it's a mitigation block, right? We come down, we bounce it again, retest it, and go and retrace a little bit into the OTE of this range, right? That's going to be covered on another stream. If you take this, if you fib that, you put OT on it, look at that. That's another thing you want to be looking for in terms of like after a liquidity sweep, you can probably see a little low to most recent high, and see if price comes back into the OTE of it. And that's going to give you a sign whether or not we're going to keep on heading up or keep on heading down. So those levels right here, look at that. We swept that liquidity right here. We displaced up, or didn't necessarily like displace up, but we made a move up, formed a high, started to retrace back down, and we came right into the OTE of this range that was created, of this little manipulation range that swept the low, and then we continued up higher. That's what we're always looking for, right? Similar thing over here. You could have taken this mitigation block right here, that previous high that was swept, used that as your line of support, and you could have used all of these lows that were right here, right? We got these lows. We did displace it. Okay, what's on our next level? Does this hold? Does this break? It holds. All right. So now we're coming back above this level. We're holding it, and we're continuing up higher. What do we have over here? We have our other liquidity right there. That gets swept. We don't necessarily see like a wick through it. We do see bodies close above it, and then we continue down. It's also giving you a foundation for our outside and our inside candles, right? Or like outside hours, outside 15 minutes, outside 5 minutes. Right here, what do? We swept this high right here, swept the high of this candle. That 15 minutes swept that. And then we continue back down as we couldn't hold the close of this. So we continued on down from there, right? Sweep this. This is our candle close. We could not hold above it, so we're not looking for these liquidities right there. We also have this liquidity right here, same thing, right? We swept it. We didn't necessarily displace above it, so now we're continuing down. Now over here, let's get rid of some of this stuff. What do we have? We had that liquidity, right? It just got left. Liquidity sweep. That's a wick, and we displace out of it, and then we continue up higher. Same thing over here. That's why we like to look at those Asian and London ranges just to see, are we going to sweep the liquidities and where are we going to go from there? So if London sweeps the low, you could aim for the high of Asia and vice versa, right? So if we sweep the high of Asia, London's likely going to displace low. And that's what we look for in terms of those ranges. Does that make sense to everyone? I'm getting a drink of water. Am I making sense, Shane? I just want to
Yes,
check
sir.
myself.
100%.
Sweet.
Clean and smooth.
Let's go some stuff. All right, let's continue going. So same thing, right? That's where backtesting comes in. That's the importance of backtesting, right? We always want to be, even like today before the streams, I took probably an hour just going over the same things that I have gone over multiple times, just so you can practice. If you're not sharpening your sword, it's going to get dull. So you want to always make sure you're putting that edge on the grindstone, sharpening it, right? Obviously, you don't want to sharpen it too much because you can shave it all the way down. You're going to get worn out, right? And then it's kind of like forms a paralysis by analysis. It's like studying for a test the night before, right? If you study too much, when it comes time for the test, you might get yourself confused. You're like, oh, wait, was that what I remember from like a while ago, or was that what I remember from last night?
Brain can't hold that much new information all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
mine can't at least.
Yeah, unless you're super fucking smart. we're speaking for ourselves here.
I think of myself as a smart person, but still, like even with the ICT videos, I would try to smash more than one in a day, and it just wouldn't retain.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to cram. It's like cramming before the test. That's not gonna help you out in any way.
Building block levels to this shit.
Exactly. You don't want to climb a ladder like multiple steps at a time, right? Because you can fucking fall down on your face. Just take it one little, what is it, a ladder prong, right? Is that what they're called?
Wrong.
Rung, yeah. Just take it
That was a
one letter
Go
rung at a time. Sorry, what were you going to say?
painter of 15 years. I know this.
Yep. Next class, we're going to cover the anatomy of a ladder, guys.
Quizzing Etihad ladder.
And why it's important in trading. Yeah, over here, right? And what do we have all the way to the left? We still had these highs, right? And look what we did. So if we draw these out, we didn't quite come retest this Asian high, but we came up and retested this high. Look at that. Came up. This candle didn't quite get it. Swept it with this candle. Retraced back down into OTE of this range. I'm sure we hit like a 786 right here. Yep. That you start staring at the fucking chart long enough, you to know your OTEs.
Yep, I was just thinking that.
See, our Doge is looking good now. Look at that, right? We retraced into the OT of that range. That's what you want to be looking for with like liquidity sweeps, is either are we displacing down or are we having a market structure shift? We're not. We'll cover market structure shifts on later live streams. But that's what we were looking for, right? We sweep a liquidity. Now Are we going for internal range? Are we going for internal range liquidity, and that's where OTE comes in? And are we holding that OTE for us to continue up higher to external range liquidity? Or are we going from external now to internal and then back to external? That's where you see below 50% starting to just like break down. You see your market structure shifts and whatnot. And then you can target really those like outside liquidities. I'm sure if we mark this level out, right, 20, it gets swept later on. This very liquidity. Look at that, right? We always come back for liquidities no matter where they are. Market is a balanced act, right? You see deliver from buy side to sell side, from sell side to buy side. It's those interactions that we talked about, right? On last stream, the interaction between buyers and sellers. If there's a buyer, there has to be a seller, right? Somebody has to sell you something in order for you to buy it. Go to an ice cream shop. If there's nobody at the counter, you can't get your ice cream. You can't buy that ice cream if there's nobody selling it to you. So right here we have multiple highs. All right. Kind of same thing that we just talked about with that Asian session and London session. You can see that Asian session high gets swept by London session. We come back down. Our trade could finish right here. I mean, 134 ticks, right? Depending on your risk, you can take whatever amount of contracts and be done before the 9:30 even opens, right? So we sweep this. London session continues down. We have this liquidity right here, right? Our 15-minute, those wicks is what you want to be looking for. There's really those like significant price points that are really just sharp, right? That shoot up. We have this liquidity right here as well. Right, we see this body closes below it. We kind of do a little bit of a retrace into the fair value gap, then 945. We sweep this, right? Our body is still holding above this now, right? That level has been traded through, traded above, and now we're holding it. That's your little mitigation. Now we're holding above it. Cool, we still have this external liquidity or this little high, right? We got our sellers over here, our buyers bought from the sellers right there. Okay, now where are the buyers going to sell? They're going to sell right here because we have sellers right here at these highs. Buy side, sell side. Cool. Kind of continue down, right? London session takes the lows over here. We don't necessarily sweep this low right here. Gets swept further down. Right? If you're confused, right? If you're looking for price targets, always look left. Zoom out and look left. If you're unsure where the price is gonna bounce, zoom out and look left. If you're on the 5 and you're like, oh, I don't know what the next liquidity, go up a time frame, or always start up and go down. Right? You want to have an outside perspective, and then you can kind of dial in to your inside perspective. It's kind of it kind of works in a reversal for life, right? Right now you might be in a fucking rut, right? Or you might be just hate, trading, or you're taking the time, taking an hour out of your day to just study this, right? But what's an hour if you look at it in a year? If you take a whole year and you just take that one little hour each day, what is that? Right? That's nothing compared to the full picture.
Just
right.
Skip a movie a night.
Exactly. Skip a movie, skip a fucking football game a night. It's bullshit. You're wasting 4 hours of your fucking life doing that shit. I'm very passionate about football, as you guys can tell. But yeah, that's 4 hours that you could be spending in learning, right? Instead of sitting there and complaining about something. Go learn, right? It's all opportunity cost.
Lock in for your future instead of getting mad about a team losing.
Mm-hmm. Then a day brings no value to your life. It's all entertainment. But as I've once read, and I hold this quote very, very close, winning fun is more fun than having fun is fun.
Damn.
So if you think it's fun in the moment, right? It's all temporary fun. That watching this football game with the boys, sharing a couple of beers, it's all temporary fun. It's never gonna. You're not learning anything new. Doing that, repeating the same shit over and over.
You want to know what my friend said to me yesterday? My good friend from Wisconsin. He said, like, you know how everyone always says, like, in moderation is fine?
Mm-hmm.
He said moderation kills you.
Yeah.
It's just another excuse to keep doing shitty things.
Yep. Oh, anything moderation. It's gonna. If you
It'll just kill
guys,
you slower.
if yeah, exactly. So extend your having fun ability. If you guys really want to get a good personal growth podcast, I'd suggest you check out Andy Frisella. I mean, creator of the 75 Hard program and like Live Hard program, done multiple times. Phenomenal, right? That's how we grow. Just kind of spreading that message of personal growth and personal excellence. He talks about balance, right? All these people are talking about, oh yeah, but what about balance? What about balance this and that? If your life is balanced, the scale reads 0. Right? You're not growing. Just think about that a little bit. And I think that's going to conclude our lesson today for liquidity.
There's always some fun tidbit extras we got to add in.
Exactly. Liquidity and personal growth for today's live stream. If you guys are enjoying it, make sure to give us a like, give us a share, spread the word about this, share a little thought of what you learned today. Right now, I don't see any tickers, so we could just look at the ones that we have outlined from previous weeks and see where we're at. And if you got any other ones, we can also cover those. Doge right now, 15 minute. Want to see above this high on the hourly. 15 minute. It's not looking the best, but all right, opportunity cost. Actually, we got this order block right here. This would be good for us to hold. That would be good for us to
5 minute
hold.
can come to OTE.
Yeah.
But want that to hold. It's low risk either way. And this could give another entry. This OTE 5 minute FPG.
Yep. As we haven't retested that. Right. It's kind of a similar thing that we've talked about, guys, right? Always want to come back to OTE. No matter how much we're pumping, no matter how much we're selling, we always want to come back to OTE and retest stuff. Right. That's what we have. That's why it's like this sell, it's healthy. I don't think it's like it's not, the economy's not crashing. It's just a healthy pullback because we were so propped up on just fucking nothing. So over here, let's go over, let me save this. We'll continue tomorrow. And let's look at some comments. What do we have here? Okay. Gonna have stonks. Let's look at Cat. Cat has been a little favorite. Swept this liquidity. Actually, Cat is looking good. Look at that.
Yep.
Holy shit. Cat is looking really decent, especially on the weekly. Unless they just fucking hammer down.
Yeah. It depends. Got to kind of look at YM for that and see where we're at.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty decent.
A lot of the stuff, I went through my whole watch list, and like a lot of the stuff is pretty higher time frame, like weekly, monthly, starting to shape up, but not very clear on the daily across a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Actually, CCL got shitted on, but if we take this monthly range, it actually doesn't look terrible. No, almost into OTE. Yeah, almost into 618. These order blocks, monthly, could fill this gap on the monthly, honestly, CCL, and then go from there. Like if it came down to 1871-ish.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of like Elf. It's not ready yet, but that one looked pretty good. CCL, yeah, that looks nice. Come back to retest all that previous resistance. See if it got flipped to support.
Let me just see. Let me post this. that could be decent. DDOG. Still
It
gonna
beat
come
one up.
down a little bit. Yeah. Love. Love is just consolidating here right now. Oh, deleted that OT. I don't want this. Kind of almost like a little power of 3 setting up here, maybe. If we swept this liquidity. No. Oh, yeah, we did. Look at that. So now we want to make sure that we hold this, and then we continue up further on that on CCL. Rivian wanted to continue up. Obviously, it wanted OTE. So right now we're looking for the 786 to hold. That Snow just being a bitch. He said Elf.
Higher time frame, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had this OT drawn out on it. That 786.
I think I was looking at like 3 months to begin with, and then monthly.
Yeah, monthly,
No
yeah.
confirmation yet, but
But this outside month is not, or it could go outside month considering we have this gap right here. This is very blunt, right? So we can go up on that.
And for that, I like to mark out the previous month, and like once you clear the 50% of that previous month, it's a good candidate to go outside month. That's how I gauge that.
A similar thing that we covered on yesterday's stream with where we rejected on those wicks, right? If we're rejecting that 50% of a wick, then we're likely going to sell down right here. We did that over here, right? We came up, retested that 50%, and sold back down further as we couldn't displace it.
Equilibrium is super important. One of my favorite. Equilibrium of everything. Ranges, previous candles. Like, you can use it in so many different ways, and it's so simple.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
You're good.
Sorry, hold up.
You're good.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
You're good.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, equilibrium, that's very important, right? 50%. That's why we talk about OTE is also very important, right? Because it's below 50%. So that's technically your discount range, right? And then from there, it continues up if it goes up back above or back below that 50% line. So that is very important. Got 90 people in here. If you guys are enjoying this, give it a little share, give it a little like. Comment down below what your favorite part is. Let's continue going down the low list. Elf, we just covered. See, AMD's is just fucking disgusting.
It's I like hit my point of interest, and I look down the daily. It's like that doesn't look like a good bottom.
God.
Just horrible.
I mean, it swept the previous month and swept this little liquidity right here too.
Yeah, go to the
Also,
daily though.
daily.
I think it's blunt on the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, it's got the tiniest little wick. It's like a little.
That's how they do it too.
Yeah, dude. They're like, oh yeah, it's gonna go up. Nope, you're fucked. You can come down. Honestly, take this fucking wick 80. Honestly, get AMD back down to 60 fucking dollars, dude. Fuck it. What are we talking about? Back down fucking 60.
Oh, Arc looked kind of good. I looked monthly, weekly, daily.
Arc, this one?
ARKK.
Article. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is a nice fair value gap on the monthly, too. On the weekly, we have a fair value gap. On daily swept, got a little bit more of a gap, but I think this could be a good retrace at least. Could be good
Yeah,
for
I
a
almost want
retrace.
that bullish imbalance to hold if it is bullish.
Yeah. Come up, close this gap, retest this over here, and then sell back down. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, yep. Just a retrace even would be cool.
Look at that.
Google looked okay.
Yeah. Remember what we covered on stream, y'all? Look at this. A previous high, swept, and now retest it. And look at the bodies. Look at how well that's respecting. Right? This isn't just on NQ. This can be applied to anything.
Yeah, ETH2 is a good example of that on the 5-minute right now.
Let's check it out. ETH. Yep. Look at how well those bodies are respecting it. All right. Go back to Doji Coin. Over here.
ETH's got some strength.
Yep. Let's see where we.
Yeah, very important to see this hold though.
CrowdStrike.
Ooh.
Or
That
BA.
communication in general is just cooked.
BC Animal is playing out pretty nicely. It did come back up a little bit, but then displaced the A. So now we're looking for a little OTE bounce right there. Oof, Costco. Holy shit. They fucking stopped selling hot dogs? What happened?
Nope, they're still there.
Fuck. That's an OTE of this range now. 786 holding. Yeah, pretty close to it. Sorry, this is also where you play continuations of those ranges, right? So if the range of this range comes back down, want to see the OTE of it hold in order for us to continue. It's kind of you making your higher highs, higher lows, right? That's your trend. Higher high, higher low, that's your uptrend, right? If we're looking at it higher, or this is you have your high, low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, or low, higher high. That's what we're looking for, right? And that's where you can throw in your OTE, see where it holds. Does it come down, retest the 50% of this range? Or does it come down like into 786? And that's where you're kind of going off of. Right? Same thing over here, right? Expand that range. Oh, cool. 786. Cool. Continue up. Does it hold over here? It doesn't necessarily retrace into it. So you continue back up. And then you get your market structure shifts of where now you get your downside and that displaces that low. And now you start making your lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Just your general market stuff. Just throwing those quick lessons in there.
Mm-hmm.
CrowdStrike, look at this shit outline on it.
Nasty, dude.
Oh my god. Did I ever post it in here? CRWD. Crude. You guys, if you're not in the Discord, I suggest you join up. Shane just covered over probably 100 tickers in his channel that he outlined each and every detail in there for those.
Top-down analysis.
Yeah, seriously, it's like
My back hurts. I'll say that.
yeah, it's looking fucking beautiful in there, and it's all just perfect. You know, you got your 3-month, monthly, and weekly. We also have a beautiful PDF in here for anybody that joins up. It's free. I mean, you can even join for a day, right? You can join for a day, take what you need, learn what you want, and then leave. You know, we're not holding you back, but we hope you stay for the community after you learn what we teach you guys. Let's continue moving down.
Another thing I wanted to touch on quick, like I've been like we've both been in multiple groups throughout our journey. Like I've been trading for like over 12 years, been in probably 6 or 7 different groups, and like not that it's the biggest thing in the world, but the chat. Like no one wants a dead chat, and Ours is like actually so impressive with how alive it is and how
Yeah.
much good conversation outside of trading happens in there.
Hmm. Yeah, we get some great combos. And like now we just got it's even more live now that we had some more people join up.
Yep.
Just up from here.
All
So
the
if you guys
homies.
are if you guys are not in yet, make sure you join up before the prices go up.
Yep.
Similar
If you hate
thing.
it, leave. Never talk to us again. But
Yeah.
I don't think you will.
Never talked to exactly. Look at this. Look at this trend line rejection, right? Kind of what we talked about of hey, we can come up, retest this. This was covered on a back then stream, right? Came back into OT of this whole range, retested it. So now we either want to see a breakout and retest of this trend line or continuous rejection. But CVX, honestly, that's a nice trend line. We could break out.
I was just looking at that. Does look really good.
With how strong these past days were, that's looking good. Weekly left a hammer. Ooh, I don't know about that then. Weekly leaves a hammer.
God, I'm scared. I like PTSD now.
Yeah.
Hammer
Considering
retrace
leaving
model.
hammer just fucking selling the hammers recently. FDX. I mean, like we said, come down, retest the breakout of this trend line. It continues on. Now we're kind of consolidating over here for that. So let's see what we do. Autodesk, animal completed, and bouncing the 705. Autodesk could actually go, but it's got a hammer on the daily. I don't know how much I trust that. Weekly's also not looking the best.
I think that was just a crypto thing to me. No, that's why I have this hunch. Like that was just felt scammy. And in yesterday's stream, I said like the weekends have been super low volume. Don't pay attention to it, and they could undo this all so fast if they really want to.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Like, look at this shit. Like, look at this hammer, right? And that's what we talked about earlier on stream. We could not displace above the close of this candle. So what did we do? Body is respecting that. He sold all the way back down. You're 50%. We have outlined it, right? That's this line. 50% did not hold. So
Those
we continue.
bodies on the 5, respecting so well.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. Yeah, dude. She's looking. You can come back up. It'd be solid.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Get it up there.
Such low risk. I don't see why you wouldn't take it.
On
Not
is
financial advice, as
fucking
always.
ugly. On. I mean, it swept this liquidity. On, we have all of this consolidation. So on could be a good, decent on the weekly. Just want to watch out for this fair value gap, right? Once again, see what we do. How are we going to react? Build our if-then case. If we displace above it, then we can head up higher. If we reject it, we're likely going to see this weekly low and possibly over here, that 41 level. Daily, yeah, daily. I don't think she's ready yet. Ulta bouncing this Timmy zone right here. That's not terrible. It's broke this Timmy, but the way she's looking, probably continue. Be another little low. Apple played out decently. Came back down. Kind of ranging. Almost looks like we have a, yeah, like we were saying, stuck between those levels on it. But this played out beautiful. AAMT.
AMAT, yeah.
Amat. Oh yeah, we had this one. Got the OTE too. And that was, yeah, weekly. Yeah, looking decent. Not hating it.
A lot of these are just probably going to be retraces up,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, retraces up before we sell back down. Kind of what we did on crypto. Where it's like we had this huge sell and then everybody thought, oh my god, we're reversing back up. And then it fucking sold down further. Just because it was a retrace, not actual rejection.
Yep. Last one, and then I'll leave the rest in paper traders. That forward high time frame, I just think there's something there.
Oh yeah. Let's do forward. So we'll do
Just
this.
F.
Oh yeah, that's right. F contracts like play nicely. We talked about this too. Forward, and I think this is going to be the last stock we'll look at. I don't see anything from anyone in chat. If you guys have anything after the stream, I mean, comment down below it. We'll take a look at them. What do we got? Cumulative. Got 97 people in here. Hell yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. So forward, monthly. Oh, dang. It's actually decent. 24, 25. Yeah. Yeah, that's looking good.
OB tap, liquidity swept.
And OTE.
Weekly went outside, I think.
Oh, yeah, this little OB right here. On the monthly.
Or to the left even. It's like that CISD OB. Like displacement down, displacement up.
Oh, like right here.
Like that black, yeah, that last black leg down. That's what I had marked.
Like that, right? Oh,
Or the last, even lower.
this.
Like that manipulation, like, yeah. Yes, sir.
Right here. Yeah.
And sell side swept. And then
Mhm.
outside week and almost outside month.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to it. Getting
I'd
outside
like to
month.
see that.
Weekly.
Yeah, nice high time frame, long swing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, $9 for it is honestly not bad. I mean, the
Yeah, or
company.
just common.
Yep. $9. They're probably gonna keep on dropping shit. I mean, it's a huge company here in America, right? Unless they really do some stupid shit, then I don't see why it can go up higher. Also, like a little bit of a power of three. You got your accumulation a little back down.
Even if it's, I don't think that ever even came to premium on that last time frame. Even if it's just a retrace, like, just looking for good risk reward plays right now, since these markets are so turbulent.
Yeah. Ford has their earnings in April too. Right, earning Wednesday, April 23rd. Let's see what this says there. So far, they're following suit. Looks like their good months start in like, when is this? Like around June, July. Oh, wait. Hold up. Did you close my. Oh, wait. I'll tell you after the stream. You see this? How it's like in June, right here?
Yep.
Starts pumping.
Yep. Seasonality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think the RR is there, and like you said, it's a pretty big American company.
Yeah. And I mean, Ford, right? Ford is like it's not a sister company, but Ford owns Lincoln. That's like their luxury brand of Ford. So it's like any sales from that goes straight to Ford. Any sales from Ford goes straight to Ford. So it owns all of those companies. So it's just like a little branch off for it, a little fancy branch off. Whatever EVs I'm sure they're going to be coming out with for Lincoln, whatever EVs they're coming out with for, which Ford Lightning, whatever. We'll see how their earnings do. But I also don't trust the EVs. What's Tesla like? Let's look at Tesla lastly, and then we'll be. Oh, Tesla's fucking off. Oh boy, that's a solid fucking animal though. Look at that.
Got to be a Bard on some time frame.
Fucking yeah.
Gross.
Let's see.
Lots of, I don't know. It's like there's OBs there, but there's also LRLR. So I don't. It's like a do not trade for me.
Yeah. I mean monthly. What's monthly? So let's get rid of that. Oh, that's ugly. Holy shit. I'm sure once Musk stepped into office, everyone was like, I fucking hate Tesla.
Yep.
Tesla hates me. Whatever. See, right? Liquidity sweep. We couldn't close a body above this. Continue down. Same shit that we've talked about. Good TBR over here on this candle. If this candle doesn't hold, then we're looking for this LRLR. Tesla 275, Tesla to 102. That could be a fucking generational long over here for
Yep.
y'all. That's a don't look at those as like, oh fuck, fucking selling down. Tesla has been ruling the EV market. Although I don't trust EVs that much, it could be a really good buying opportunity around this 100 area. Like anything between 100 to anything below 150, I think is a fucking solid buy.
Yep. And a lot of these, it's like you don't have to play options. You can throw commons in your IRA or whatever you want. That's why we don't really love, like we do alerts. We don't love alerts. We think you should learn how to trade on your own, but we just present what we see.
Yeah, that's why we want to teach you guys. We want to show you our thought process of why we are taking the trade, not just like, hey, yeah, take this trade here. I want you to understand the reasoning behind it of why are they taking this trade, not just like a random fucking, oh yeah.
Yep. Maybe you see something better than we do. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone sees stuff differently, and that's the best. And that's why you need to trust yourself and your system.
And if you do, join the community. We'd love to learn from you. No, that's why I love our community. Like everybody's learning from everyone. Like I've learned so much from Timmy in the past few months that he's been in. It's like insane. Like
I said that yesterday. Traders sharpening traders. It's not all this random noise. Like we're not all sitting on voice chat during market hours. We give our input. You take it or leave it, and you trade your system.
mm-hmm. And then we meet up after hours. We go over our trades, cover everything, learn from each other more, and then the cycle repeats. Yep.
We want it to be different than everyone else, and we will continue striving for that.
Exactly. Continue doing the things that we do. Continue showing you, continue bringing you guys value, whether it be on the personal level or on the stock level. Whatever way we can provide value, we hope you learn something and take something away from these streams, and podcasts soon too as well. Either way, we appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Make sure you check out www.papertraders.io. Amazing website, amazing tools built by yours truly at Hazed Beats. Follow him on Twitter. Follow Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter as well. Got some good indicators that don't tell you where, price is going to reject here. It makes you patient, right? We talk about all these like lagging indicators. It's an indicator that just highlights the time during which you should trade and then the other times during which you shouldn't, just in case you don't have time to look at the market, right? You just turn it on. Oh, cool. We're in my zone. Awesome. I'm going to take a trade here if it's in my area of support or resistance. We got the paper log or paper trader log. Check that out. Awesome tool for you to document your trades and just kind of see where you're at, right? As we talk about data-driven decisions, you always want to make sure you are taking the time to learn from your previous mistakes, opportunities. If you're not taking that time, you're going to repeat them, right? You have to make sure you learn those lessons. We can only teach you so much, but the experience that you get from actually doing it is way different than somebody talking about it. Right? You have to try in order to succeed. The mama bird can tell you about flapping your wings all at once, but until you actually get to do it yourself, you won't fly.
Yep. Amen.
And on that note, we appreciate you guys, and